Yo guys, coming in hot with episode 4 of the weekly report. I've decided to shorten up the episodes a little bit to see if you guys like that style more. Let me know below if you like more of a fast-paced, quick-release news report or more of like a detailed dive into each subject we talk about. Anyways, the scooter world has been on fire this past week and I can't wait to dive in and share it all with you. Let's jump right into the weekly report. The Triple Flair is something we look at as this old-time legend. It's so insane that it doesn't even seem possible, but I think we're on the brink of seeing the first one ever landed. To my knowledge, there are currently 4 riders in the race to get this thing done. We got Jordan Clark, who has undoubtedly come the closest and given the trick the most attempts. Then we got Leo Spencer, who has just recently started giving the trick a go, but has gotten super close in a number of attempts. Then here we have Tom Neve, one of Leo's mates, who has sent a few as well, and even has sent one to Wood. Last but not least, the newest rider to give this legendary trick a shot, we have Hunter Frost. Hunter has practiced them into the foam pit at Woodward Tahoe and finally got the opportunity to send one at Woodward West in the hangar this past week. As you can see, these dudes are all super close to getting this trick stomped. Comment below who you think is going to be the one to pull it off. So the past few weeks in California, there has been these things going down called homie sessions. Ran by the dudes Frankie and Jordan, these events have been growing bigger and bigger each time they happen. It is essentially just a big group of homies going out and shredding spots all together to really enhance the scooter environment and provide a welcoming atmosphere for all walks of our sport. They've basically just been putting on their own little street jams. With a handful of prizes to give away and a big megaphone to keep everything organized, it gives me those same kind of vibes a street jam does when everybody's just seshing everything they see. Big up to those dudes behind it and Scooter Zone for backing it. I love seeing these little events growing bigger and showing the world what our sport is really about. This past week, MGP welcomed their newest pro rider, Roman Del Pena. Now, first of all, I want to give a big shout out to Roman for being out there every day grinding to get where he wants to be. Mad respect for the hustle, man. It ain't as easy as everyone thinks. Now, do I consider this the best move for the brand? Probably not. Roman is a great kid and has huge potential, and by no means is this a bash on him. But I think as a whole, we really have to think about what the definition of a pro rider is in our sport. I think our whole community has the definition a little misconstrued, and it's not really all about just going out to competitions and filming welcome to parts. It's so much more, and you have to go through years and years of hard work and dedication to earn that title. Nevertheless, congrats to Roman and MGP on the work they continue to produce. Really hope to see some big things come from them in the future. Just 1 week ago, Supremacy Scooters, a shop out of the UK ran by the man Danny Roberts, welcomed their newest rider, Spaniard Hugo Lepart. Danny had his eyes on Hugo for quite a while and claimed to have heard nothing but positive feedback. Hugo is a really creative rider with a unique style and a wonderful trick selection. I love seeing shops still out there adding new riders, especially ones that aren't necessarily local. Can't wait to see what the duo cooks up, and congrats to the pair for the newly formed relationship. We are starting the video part of the week section off with a banger. Ohlay brand has finally released the very anticipated Riley and Gabe in LA part. As I explained in previous videos, Jared sent out Riley and Gabe to LA to film for a few weeks with Alex Bloom. I think we all had expectations for this project, and I'm almost certain those expectations were surpassed. I mean, everything from the riding to the editing to the B-roll was just so on point. These East Coast shredders went out to the West to show the world what they're really made of. I'm not gonna spoil the ender, but man, was it buck. Seriously though, huge shout out to Riley and Gabe. Y'all killed this part and went above and beyond what anybody thought was gonna happen. Also, shouts to Alex for putting the project together and Jared at Ohlay for making the whole thing happen. I can't wait to see more and more videos just like this one to be produced. Here's a video no one expected to see. The Concrete Crew out of Northern California just dropped this new video titled Slow Scrimmage. Featuring some of the best riding the West Coast has to offer, this 4.5 minute day edit is truly a treat to watch. With clips of huge park gaps transitioning over to some insane bowl lines, this video really hits all corners. The man Anton Abramson does a great job of catching the whole vibe and portraying it really well through the lens. I mean, when else do you see this diverse of a group of riders get together and film for one video? Go give it a watch if you haven't yet, and let's keep these good vids and good vibes going. Eretic has been around for some time now and releases a new part every year to showcase their SnowScoot. This year they did the filming at La Clusaz, a resort in the French Alps, and here in America at Woodward Tahoe. With a handful of Europe's best riders and some of the most professional camera work we've seen in our sport, this video is a sick one to watch. It is so cinematic and the tricks are so strong, you can really feel all the hard work that got put into making this project happen. Eretic continues to push limits for their discipline, and we love every time they drop a new video. To start off this week's IG Top 5, we got the dude, Steez Louise, aka Nathan Trillar, out of California, stomping this huge double whip rail hop as seen in his latest part, Child's Play. He makes the impact of the 16 stair drop look like nothing and rolls away with ease. Nathan has been on the come up for the past few years and stays out there, dropping part after part to make sure everyone knows he's not going anywhere anytime soon. David Dobrik just let Dejan Taylor front flip his Tesla. Yes, you just heard me right. YouTube sensation David Dobrik has recently come in contact with viral scooter rider Dejan Taylor out of Long Beach, California. The two got together to film some shenanigans, and that's exactly what we were provided. Here you see David rolling up to the spot with Dejan, then they both get out of his Tesla, which is parked right next to a loading dock. David proceeds to get the angle while Dejan comes flying in hot, sending this massive fronty over the man's Tesla. Just the trick itself is so cool, but to see someone this famous showing this much interest in scooter riding is on another level. Some people might not necessarily like either of the two, but you can't deny the impact that things like this does for the exposure of our sport. Shout out to Dejan for always being out there and pushing our community to new audiences. Nate Pena and Grant Lewis have been on one recently, traveling all over, filming video parts, and even getting bangers like these in between. Nate posted this video of the two hitting an unreal line over the resi box at Woodward Tahoe. Grant starts it off by stomping this kickless Bry rewind triple whip, and Nate comes in hot behind him, throwing this crazy looking backflip Stanley to front Bry. Both of these tricks are no doubt bangers, but to be doing them back to back in a line like this is just nonsense. These dudes have been on fire this past year, and I don't think they're stopping anytime soon. Over this past weekend, a group of East Coast shredders went up to Woodward East to get some riding in. My boy, Evan DeReuter, went out and put down this perfectly executed double decade over the Lot 8 resi box. Evan has such a unique trick selection, and it's so sick to watch him pull around bangers like this one. Big things are coming for this dude, and I hope to see him take it to the next level this year. Okay, now this is getting out of hand. I was just talking about how ice scoots have been introduced and we're starting to see more and more riders hop on these things. Well, Anthony Grant got his hands back on one and sent the world's first front flip flat on an ice scooter. If you look closely, you can even see he used a piece of carpet to stomp the fronty around. I told you the progression of these things was going to be super fast, but I can't believe we're already seeing tricks like this being pulled off. Shout out to the man, Mr. Grant, for getting this one done and stretching those boundaries for his discipline just a little bit further. Alright boys and girls, I hope you enjoyed this week's episode of Scooter Talk News. I'm trying my best to stay on top of everything going on in our sport, but of course, at the end of the day, I'm only one guy. I'd like to point anyone looking to grow exposure or spread the word for their local scene or event to the description below where you can find my email. I'd love to hear about everything going on worldwide and to be pushing content globally. Thanks again for everyone tuning into this episode. We have a very exciting interview coming very soon. Until next time, peace out guys.